Alright, so normally my goals for each of these videos have been beat the gym leader and harass Team Plasma, but now this is a lesser priority. My main goal for this episode is simple: make my way to an ambassador and become a gazillionaire. But this section of the game has about 4 times the amount of boss fights and potential encounters, accompanied with a treacherous journey through Detroit, Michigan, and considering how much I fucked up in the most basic fights in the previous section, the room for error is now essentially infinite. And so I set out, and my journey starts as most journeys do, with me being held up by the Castelia cartel asking me if I want to buy some premium Pokeblocks. But if I spend all my money here, then I'll have nothing left to help feed the poor, starving, desperate casino owners later on. A good piece of advice for you, my dear viewers: if somebody on the street approaches you with a sketchy offer that makes you feel uncomfortable in any way, make sure to do the right thing and kill them. The battle starts with me typing the wrong information into the Nuzlocke guide I was using as I prepare to face off against something that definitely isn't Emboar. We tank a seed bomb before launching a crunch that just barely doesn't kill Muna, who claps back with an analytic boosted synchronize. You might be wondering, what synchronize? To which my response is, I don't fucking know. We switch out into Corona whilst trying to KO Muna with a fire punch, but she heals with a super potion which for some reason lags my emulator. We wade our way through the crunchy audio until the problem fixes itself and Muna gets herself fixed into a coffin. This lets Persian enter the field, so I have to switch into Bloomer out of fear of dying to foul play, and we tank one relatively well due to our low attack stat. We can then follow up with a magical leaf and fire punch for the kill. Pig Knight comes in, and it turns out that even Drayano forgot that he made this thing part ground type because he has the moveset of a Pokemon who is definitely still intended to be a fighting type, but now I'm sure that Sloth can find forgiveness for my prior stupidity, because if the maker of the ROM hack can't remember Pokemon types, then why should I? We can then safely switch into our own Pig Knight, who can tank everything he's hit by thanks to Eviolite. I try to lock Pig Knight into a fire type move, but I end up locking him to Sucker Punch instead. I finally decide to focus on Simisage, who's been getting cucked by Charm for the whole fight, and finally put him out of his misery. Because Pig Knight is locked into Sucker Punch, I spend the next few turns using Charm and Confuse Ray just to piss him off, before finally finishing the fight with Swash. Now that the rival fight is over, this time it's a rotation battle, which is a lot worse than you'd think because unlike Striaton Gym, I can't just spam the same move a bunch of times and win. This time, I'm subjected to whatever the AI feels like doing, which in rotation battles is completely fucking random. This battle starts with me facing off against the infamous invisible Staravia, which doesn't exist in the guide I'm using, alongside Boldore and Kadabra. The AI switches into Kadabra in order to set up Reflect as I use Charm. You don't reckon he's got a physical attack build, do you? I then decide to stall out the Reflect with Scott before barely missing out on the KO with Crunch and getting confused in the process. I decide to switch back into Starbit to land a fire punch for the kill whilst Kadabra tries and fails to ally switch. Your teammates are right there, you dumbass. Move 2 feet to the left, you lazy twat.
Oh no, I had a bad day. I think I gotta myself.
Servine comes in but rotates into Boldore, meaning Fire Punch does nothing as he sets up an iron defense. I decided best to stall out with Scott with Detect, but just forget about Confusion, meaning now he's infested with grass, and because Scott is a gamer, he's allergic to it and starts dying. I rotate back into Starbit to try and use Fire Punch, but he again switches back into Boldore for an iron defense. I decide to escape this never-ending purgatory by switching into Bloomer, whilst Jaren rotates back into Servine, clearly not expecting me to have access to more than 2 brain cells as he goes for Leaf Blade. But Jaren has a lot of options here, such as Staravia, who can deal massive damage with a flying type move, so after careful consideration and precise Emboar comes in and I can't safely KO it because Sharon might end up googling a tight matchup chart and realize that I'm weak to Staravia types. I make a bold prediction that he's going to rotate, so I switch into Swash and launch a Razor Shell into the now brought in Staravia, who just goes for double team. Not wanting to risk missing a follow-up Razor Shell, I send in Starbit while Charon rotates into Boldore, who adopts Florida methods of warfare by throwing a bunch of rocks at my face. I start seducing the Boldore in order to lower the power of its Floridian ways before deciding to rotate into Bloomer. This is because Magical Leap KOs everything on the field, and so Emboar rotates in and promptly dies. I decide now is a good time to send in Chris P, now that his weakness to showers has been removed from the field, so I switch him in on an aerial ace but fail to KO Staravia after he switches into Boldore, who goes for an iron defense. Magnitude also fails as Boldore rotates back into Staravia, but at this point, Staravia is mere moments away from dying to Sandstorm. A couple turns later and the bird dies of natural causes. Now all we have to deal with is Boldore, who should die very easily to a couple of hits from Swash. All I have to do is send him in, click the win button, and to make matters worse, Boldore has learned Dark Magic and is using it to throw rocks at my face, without being hindered by my prior attempts at seducing him. I fuck around for a couple of turns before coming to the conclusion that only one of my Pokemon can actually deal damage to this thing. That Pokemon being on the verge of death. Fuck it, I got faith. never punished. After frantically googling whether sandstorm takes effect after I've defeated my enemy's last Pokemon, I safely kill the magic boulder with a magic leaf, and with that, Charon is defeated. Following this, I receive an important phone call.
Hey you bitch! Hey you bitch!
Hey!
Do you listen to me? Do you listen to me?
Hey, I'm gonna take $100. I'm taking $100 away from you. I told you not to use that language around me. Okay?
Do not redeem! Do not redeem! Do not redeem the card!
What?
Do not redeem the card! No!
Okay.
I think I'm going to leave my phone on silent from now on. Now that I have nothing left standing in my way of the vast Unova Desert and the many potential encounters that it offers, I decide to progress forward by running all the way back to the Pokemon Center. After this, we make our way to the desert resort, and this time I'm going to make sure that I don't kill my encounter. In true Nuzlocke fashion, my desert encounter is the rare 5% chance of a flying type Mandibuzz, a great encounter to get directly before the electric type gym. I decided it's still good enough to receive the nickname Gloimbus, so now I have completed my mission. There's still a desert temple, and my guess is that, just like in real life, these structures were built by aliens, which explains all the psychic type users. Ain't no way Americans built this shit, there's no AC units anywhere. Here's where the game finally remembers that deserts are mostly comprised of ground type Pokemon, as my encounter here is none other than Trapinch. Christmas came early, and I've been a very good boy. I named this one Gruttle as an apology for shit talking Cranidos in my last video, and I'm sure that an encounter like this and an apology like that is more than enough to earn forgiveness and allow my mailbox to remain pipe bomb free. We reach the gate for Emboar City and run into the professor, who says that the government will defund her research if we kill any more encounters. She gives us these special balls to ensure that we don't fuck up, because if we do, she's going to sell us into human trafficking to make ends meet. We make sure to check the news before we finally enter Emboar City, where this old guy is getting robbed by Team Plasma. I beat them up, and the old man says I've saved him, but I say that I've eliminated the competition. And now for the casino. Where the fuck is the casino? 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 Hatsune Miku. So as it turns out, Nintendo stopped putting casinos in their games after 2010 because it's immoral to market gambling towards an audience mostly comprised of children. Now what am I supposed to do as a hobby? What? Musical? Dress up? I follow Bianca into the theatre with very low expectations. Play dress up? This is stupid as fuck. Who the fuck would want to play oh my god. I can give him a bow. I put a little top hat on him. Oh, I can put it in his hand. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my word, he's beautiful. I love this feature. I guess it wouldn't hurt to try out for a musical. Look at these ugly twats. That's my boy. There he is. That's my kid on stage. You're ugly. You're ugly. You are stunning. Fuck you. Look at him. Oh my god, that jump. Oh, Emolga's trying to steal the spotlight. Yeah, eyes on him, eyes on him. Oh yeah, you show him, you show him. Oh no. Focus on me. Oh you bastard, you bitch. They're taking away our spotlight. Man, look at poor Cathito over there, just got cucked. Come on Crispy, I believe in you. Oh, what a fucking show off, what a bitch. Oh, this one deserves to go on the fridge. Yes. I think I took this a bit too seriously. After the results are revealed, I calmly accept second place and take the criticism I received very well. Afterwards, we step outside where Bianca is realistically about to get disowned, but a bee comes in to convince her father otherwise. You're right. We should legalize marijuana. Bianca's father leaves, and speaking of leaves, we need to go into the forest for more encounters. Our first encounter is a pawnyard, and in unfamiliar lands like these, it's nice to see a fellow knife-wielding Brit wandering in the woods. Now, I could leave this next encounter for later when I get Surf, in order to guarantee a Magikarp, but I'm impatient as fuck and immediately encounter a Lilligant from Special Grass. We lower its HP with Bite.
Was that the bite of 87?
Because if we do, she's going to sell us into human trafficking to make ends meet. Do you think we can convince the professor that this is a rare variant of Lilligant which is supposed to have its frontal lobe missing? To forget about the murder we committed and the corpse that we dumped into the woods, we get to witness Swash evolve into its final form, and better yet, we still have one more encounter to get in Route 5. We were given the choice between a dinosaur and a hamster. Take a guess as to which I picked. We then make our way over to the gym. I will pay you $20 to be my friend. So what do you do for a living? I'm the king of Team Plasma. Would you rather have sex with a ferrothorn or a slugma? What the fuck? Alright, so I don't know what's worse, him being the king of the ginger tribe or him being a furry. Either way, we have to defeat him in a fearsome battle where both sides give it their all. He ends up just failing half of his moves and by the end of the battle he kills himself. Now that the battle is over, whoa, hey man, I only said you could be my friend, kissing costs extra. In leaves, and now we can finally take on the gym challenge, which I prepare for by making the most stacked team in existence. I also remember to head back to the desert resort to pick up an old amber, allowing me to make the small detour back to the Green City and give it to the museum to bring it back from the dead. Very self-explanatory name. Wait, can I could have used fly the whole time. We make it back and settle on a team for this fight before going through the gym puzzle, which gives me the hidden status condition of motion sickness, until finally reaching Bumble Bitch. So, the cool thing about gym leaders in this ROM hack, and most ROM hacks in general for that matter, is that they usually have Pokemon which act as counters to common type matchups, but Elisa just kind of doesn't. This is going to be an interesting fight. The difficulty of this fight is made apparent after Elisa's lead Emolga instantly dies to 2 flame charges, and the only reason why Crispy isn't sweeping the rest of the gym is because of static, meaning I have to switch into Reginald the Nido King after Ampharos takes the field. Ampharos maxes out its defense with Cotton Guard, but Reginald gives no fucks and spams Dig until it dies without taking a single hit. Manectric dies to Dig even faster, whilst Galvantula falls under the false pretense that it's safe due to being neutral against ground types, failing to account for the fact that the game gave me strength before this fight, which is rock type in this game. Galvantula falls, and Elisa only has 2 Pokemon left. Raichu is next, and it's probably Elisa's only ground type counter because of Grass Knot, except all of my ground types have a secondary type that resists Grass, so get fucked, you rechargeable rat. Should have learnt Surf. This leaves her with just Substrike. Wow, this shit went fast. But you see, in Pokemon battles, speed is arguably the most important stat, and with my prior paralysis, I'm put at a major disadvantage as my opponent has the opportunity to launch a devastating blow, and with her most powerful Pokemon no less. This is where Elisa intends to change the tides of battle in an unprecedented upset. And with a gym battle that rivals a modern day Pokemon game in terms of difficulty, we've earned our 4th gym badge. This was a fun part of the game. God finally gave me good encounters, got sexually harassed by a furry, found a passion for musicals, and caused thousands of property damage with all the holes that I dug up in Elisa's gym. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching. See ya.